As the results continued to emerge, the lead would change hands 7 times during the day, with the judges finding fault with the cars that for the rest of us looked to be immaculate. This 1968 Jaguar S, for example, won its class but lost a chunk of points for its interior finish and could only claim 17th. From the same stable was this rare left-hand drive BMW 2002, which has been a regular class winner for over 30 years.
I like.
Its downfall this year was its external finish, and it was placed 12th. Claiming 11th was this diminutive 38-year-old Fiat 500, the evolution of the original post-war Topolino. The car only measures 3 meters from front to back, powered by a 499cc engine in the boot. The motorcycles were every bit as fascinating, all lined up side by side in what is usually the horse parade ring. The judging of the bikes had commenced at the same time as the cars with a 1981 50cc Peugeot moped, which to a collector is a rare classic. It lost points for its trim and eventually came 16th. The more panels and bodywork a bike had was a disadvantage compared to those without, as they had to be flawless to get past the judges. This stunning 1996 Harley-Davidson Tourer is a perfect example. It lost 14 points for its external finish to be placed 15th. An older 1991 Harley did so well in every category of judging that if it had been older, it would have been a potential winner, but without the bonus points it was placed 10th. The bike was one of 4 entries from the Satis Classics stable, which included this 33-year-old Yamaha 500 XT, which came 9th. There were 4 judging stations set around the perimeter of the parade ring, and the bikes had to be ridden between each. Any bike that had to be pushed was subject to a 10-point penalty, and to avoid this, several needed some TLC to entice them back to life. At the first judging point, the condition of the paintwork, chrome finish, wheels and instrument panel came under inspection. At the next station, the engine, gearbox and drivetrain were examined for leaks and the electrical system checked. There was then a roadworthiness test where the brakes, lights and tires all gained points. Finally, the trim was assessed for cleanliness and condition, including the effectiveness of the suspension. Originality was not taken into account, but wear and tear for age was compensated with bonus points. On the car judging line, touring cars up to 1300cc were under inspection, including the 53-year-old VW Beetle, which had won the Concours on 4 previous occasions. The cars were inspected along a gauntlet of 5 judging points, commencing with the underside, which meant they first had to climb the Total ramp. Here, the judges were looking at the overall cleanliness, with water and oil leaks immediately losing points.
Water leak, oil leak.
Some of the cars are incredible. You get nothing. It's very difficult to find any faults on them, but there are others that do have quite a bit wrong with them.
And do you often find money under there and bribes?
Unfortunately not.
The most points were gained at the external finish check, but even the smallest scratch in the paintwork or flaw in the chromework was detrimental.
Well, you're looking for blemishes and scratch marks, silicone, solvent popping. You're looking for, there's all sorts that can go wrong with the painting.
At the interior checkpoint, the upholstery, carpets, dashboard and boot came under inspection, with the judges examining the finish and condition.
You've got 1957 Chevy. The guy comes with his old sort of like the clocks. You can't really kill him too much for that because you won't get new ones. But to a level of cleanliness and care and overspray and things like that's what we're really looking for.
Water and oil leaks once again lost points at the engine bay station, where the judges considered the overall cleanliness and condition of the wiring.
I wonder how much the sale of Brasso goes up during this time of year.
Finally, the cars had to be road ready. and the owner had to prove that the lights, horn and windscreen wipers all worked.
I worked off the vacuum.
The condition of the tyres also gained one of the 6 points available. As an elegance event, originality was not taken into account, but bonus points were given for age, which gave this 83-year-old Ford Model A a 44-point advantage. No matter how much TLC the cars are given prior to the event, there are always those that don't return the affection, having to be pushed along the judging line, incurring a penalty of 10 points. Overall, there were 290 points up for grabs, and the VW Beetle was deducted 28, including 3 for what looked like an immaculate underpan. Whilst the crux of the Concours was to unearth the best presented car of the day, the range of cars were a fascinating look back at over 80 years of motoring history. Every decade was represented. The 20s and 30s were the vintage years. An ex-military Willys Jeep captivated the war years of the 40s before the car industry took off.
Thank you.
The 50s were simply fascinating, with typical examples on display from the evolutionary Ford Zephyr Zodiac and the early split windscreen Morris Minor. Rolls-Royce catered for the wealthy and privileged. This is one of the 760 Silver Dawns produced between 1949 and 1955. In America, the Chevrolet brand was dominant. This is a 1952 Chevrolet Deluxe, a favorite amongst the mafia. The flamboyant 60s saw the beginning of the modern-day car, best remembered by the hippie years of the various forms of the VW Combi. Economy cars emerged, including the rear-engine Hillman Imp and the sporty and now rare Daihatsu convertible. This is believed to be the only example on the African continent in Concours condition.
We've got the
And then there was the Ford Mustang, an icon of the age. The 70s were recalled by this superb Ford Fairmont, and the 80s by a beautiful Rolls-Royce Silver Spirit.
What a beast. What a beast.